Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to the free astrotheology course. I am Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. So let's get started. We are on page 173. We're dealing with the third house, the third zodiacal house. So give me a moment. I always have problems when I try to live stream to you guys. I don't know if y'all can see that, but my phone went blurry. So what I want to do is read the definition of a judgment. But as you can see, my phone went blurry. Look, oh man, hold on. Unbelievable, yo. Okay. All right, so this is out of the Black's Law Dictionary on archives.org. It's the very first edition. Hold on. So y'all can see that. Page 654. So let me reload it. Hold on. Y'all know, I mentioned this before, but one of the things I notice in Asia that when people are, I don't want to, some people will say passive aggressive, but it's, if you know what you're doing, if you're aware of what you're doing, it's not passive aggressive. It's just called being an ASS hole, right? Or a sabotager. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm doing my live stream and all of a sudden this guy turns his phone on with the music loud again. But I've been in Asia for a long time. I understand what he's doing. He's trying to sabotage me, frustrate me, make me leave, right? And he ain't bought nothing since he been here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, so y'all, so page 654. I hope he understands English so he'll know I'm talking about him. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me try to reload this. Page 600. All right, reload it. But it's still not clear. Still not clear. Wow. Let me let it sit. It was clear. It's clear before. Anyway, I'll come back to it. Hopefully it'll be legible. So as y'all can see, it's blurred. Blurred out. So look at, I'll put it at the top of the screen. That says judgment. As you can see, it's blurred out, right? They blurred it out. This is archives.org, y'all. This is a well-funded website. That never happens. But I have these problems when I live stream this information. So he understood me. He turned his music down. All right, so page 173. Here we go. Third house. So we're on the second paragraph. I've been in Asia for a long time, y'all. Here if you do something directly, you just make problems for yourself. You have to do it indirectly because of the saving face principle. Now he turned it back up. But anyway, let's go, y'all. The third house gives judgment. The third house gives judgment concerning brethren. So what's a brethren? What's a brother? It's a blood relationship, right? Sisters. So that's a blood relationship. Common, they have the same mother and father. Cousins. Their mothers and fathers are brothers and sisters. Or kindred. Now this is the family, the extended family. So what is this? When you're dealing with a bloodline, well, it's a nation. This is nation. Nationhood. A bloodline attached to a specific landmass with a common culture, common heritage, right? So common language, common cuisine. They share the same inheritance. All right? So listen, y'all. The third house. The third house. 3 is a special number, right? 3 is a special number. The third house gives judgment. And I wanted to read the lawful definition of judgment, but you see, they blurred, or let me rephrase that. But you see, my screen is blurred. The document is not legible. Concerning brethren, sisters, cousins, or kindreds. So this house gives judgment, or this is the judicial power of a nation. I'm going to repeat it. The judicial power of a nation. Kindred, kinfolk. That's your family. Well, let me not say family. That's your kinfolk, your siblings. People say siblings overseas, y'all. That's your siblings, cousins, second, third, fourth, all the way down. All the way down until what? Until we get back to the period of the ancient foremothers and forefathers. But that's another story. That's why I hesitated. That's going to take us in a different direction, but I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there because it's related to the circumpolar zodiac projection, which came before the solar zodiac projection, all right? But we're going to get there. But now let's deal with the power to decide cases, the judicial power. It also deals with neighbors. It also deals with neighbors. Let me see if I can get any. Man, I think this is really not working for me today, y'all. This is not working. Hold on. Let me log out and try to come back in. Same deal. Oh, wait, here we go. I think I have to try some different things, y'all. Judgment. Y'all take a look at that. Okay, you can pause it on the replay. Again, this is archive.org, Black's Law Dictionary, first edition, page 654. Okay, judgment. This is what it reads. The official and authentic decision of a court of justice upon the respective rights and claims of parties to an action or suit, litigated and submitted to its determination. Submitted to the court's determination. It continues. The conclusion of law upon facts found are admitted, let me repeat that, or admitted by the parties, or upon the default in the course of a suit. So we're going to continue with that. There's a little bit we need to go through here. Okay, y'all can see the cases cited. Y'all can see the citations. Let's continue. The decision or sentence of the law. So I got to go to the next column. Given by a court of justice or other competent tribunal as the result of proceedings instituted therein for the redress of an injury. So there has to be an injured party, right? For the redress of an injury. Can y'all see that? So there has to be an injured party. Just looking at this definition alone. All right? Now let's continue. A judgment is the final determination of the rights of the parties in the action. That's the next paragraph. Take a look at the citation. All right. Next paragraph. A judgment is the final consideration. Now we're talking about the third house. The third house gives judgment. So this is the third house. We're talking about what, y'all? A court of competent jurisdiction. Article 3 court or consular court, to be specific. Let's continue. So this is talking about the venue, y'all. Whereas the second house was talking about your effects, your property, your birthright. In the main, but also what? With other things. I don't want to go back. Y'all watch the video that I did just before this one. I think 103. 103. The second house. But let's continue. A judgment is the final consideration and determination of a court of competent jurisdiction upon the matter submitted to it. So now when we're dealing with Genesis chapter 2 verse 7, autochthonous Moors, who are the rightful heirs, who are thought made manifest from the soil, who are therefore the rightful heirs to all the land, all the resources, including water, anything made from those resources, electricity, all the jewels, the gold and silver, or the wealth of the nation, right? All contracts, all commerce, the air that we breathe, the cosmic energy, all of that by birthright. Clear? Now, we're getting into matters of diversity of citizenship. Because why? The third house also deals with neighbors. So you can say, well, yeah, your neighbor is the person who lives next door to you. They could be from a different bloodline. Someone else will say, well, your neighbor is those who live in the lands outside the borders of your own land. So those would be your neighbors, right? Or your neighbor could be your brother and your sister, but not in this case because it already says. It deals with judgments concerning brothers, sisters, cousins, and kindred. So those are already included. So the way I'm looking at this, neighbors are those people who are not in your bloodline. Because your bloodline is specifically listed. Okay? Let's continue. So again, diversity of citizenship and consular jurisdiction. Article 3, courts. Then the 3 has a special meaning. Let's continue. All right, so a judgment is a final consideration and determination of a court of competent jurisdiction. So how is that established? How do we know that? Well, there's one Supreme Court. What are y'all? There's one Supreme Court in the land, and it can give power, judicial power, to lesser courts that are supposed to operate for a certain amount of time, and then they dissolve. Okay, so they would issue a. Let me get. Let's see if I can. We're going to the writs. I get these. I got these writs off of enforcetheconstitution.org. Let's look at a practical example so y'all can see how this information. You can see the practical application of this information. Okay. So give me 1 second, y'all. Let me find where I need to be. So I'm looking for the delegation of authority mentioned in one of the writs. So hold on. Quo warranto, let's hold on. Okay, so here we are. This quo warranto. This affidavit of fact, well, this quo warranto, this holy writ, okay, this sunny writ, I'm using cosmic terms. This brilliant or glorified writ, this affidavit of fact, this writ of quo warranto, who is you? This writ of quo warranto written on an affidavit of fact. I gotta get a new printer, y'all. Let me show y'all the can y'all see the court stamp here? Let me give you, well, it doesn't matter. Y'all can check this in the record. So as you can see, this is an international document. Okay. So this was filed in the records of Baltimore County District Court. Hold on, y'all. Well, here you can see the true test copy. I know that's, let me give you, I'm going to give y'all the other information so you can look it up if you so choose to. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. So, Exhibit A, Dorothy J. Wilson acting as Chief Administrative Clerk. Maria Fields acting as Administrative Clerk. All right. My screen went blank. Okay, so now we were talking about the delegation of authority. We were talking about judicial power. We were talking about judicial power. Okay, so how is judicial power conferred upon lesser courts? So now let's look at page 3 of this affidavit of fact. Quo warrantum. Who is you? Who the F is you? Right, y'all? Let me see. Can y'all see that? Number 1. Y'all read number 1. Okay, so a certified copy of the delegation of authority order from Congress per Article 3, Section 1 and 2 of the Constitution 4. It's my opinion that 4 is a contracted form of foreign in this case, because 4 is an abbreviation for foreign. I looked it up in the dictionary. I showed it a couple months ago. For the United States of North America as evidence. So in other words, you said it. You're calling yourself a court. Prove you're a court. Show your evidence. Show your evidence, because I'm challenging your authority. I'm challenging your jurisdiction. Meaning to say that, prove it. Prove you are who you say you are, and if you are not who you say you are, you have committed fraud. A certified copy of the delegation of authority order from Congress per Article 3, Section 1 and 2 of the Constitution for the United States of North America as evidence of the Baltimore County District Court Incorporated having been lawfully conferred judicial authorization and jurisdiction to hear and decide, see, judgment, cases affecting the treaty rights of Moorish American nationals. Let's go back to the third house, page 173 of, I forgot to introduce the textbook, of our textbook, The Astrology of the Old Testament, or the Lost Word Regained, published in 1892. The author is Carl Anderson. Everything has its origin in nature. Everything. So page 173. The third house gives judgment concerning brethren. Consular jurisdiction, Article 3 courts. Concerning brethren, sisters, cousins, or kindreds, neighbors. And we know that the hybrid, troglodyte, Paleolithic caveman, the Neanderthals, we know that there are neighbors. We go into C.M. Bay's work. We go into C.M. Bay's work. Clock of Destiny. Is it Hold on, y'all. Is it volume 1 or I think it's volume 1. Give me 1 second. Volume 1. Volume 1. Hold on, y'all. I'm in volume 2. Give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all. Okay, let me go to volume 1. So we're already going to Yaqub, right? All right, so here we go. This is page 7. Page 7, Clock of Destiny, Volume 1. By C.M. Bay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Here we are. Download this from enforcetheconstitution.org. All right? I think it's in study material for Morris. So page 7. So it says here, well, this is not exactly what I wanted, but I get to it. Here we are. The code of the Roman cross order. And it gives in Roman numerals, in parentheses, Roman numerals 1 through 10. And then it reads, and the Latin or Spanish language comprised the Christian code, of which was born out of our Moorish forefathers' code in South America, Patagonia, known today as Argentina, the original region of the new masses of humanity. In other words, this is where Han Uman was created. Han Uman. Human is a contracted form of Han Uman. So let me show y'all. Hold on. Those of y'all, well, I'll come back to it. Han Uman, H-A-N-U-M-A-N. This is a half man, half chimpanzee. Half man, half monkey. Okay, the black one. Hence, troglodyte nigger. Okay, so the half man, half monkey half chimpanzee, the Neanderthal, the human who is non-descendable in law, who is a monster in law, by lawful definition, is a monster. Okay? The original region of the new masses, the crowds, the population of humans. Neanderthals, cavemen. Our ancestors called them pale faces, right? Who possess ruddy or red, pale skin with greenish blue eyes and long blonde hair. So now if they are occupying, if they're on the land there, they have to be somewhere, right? So we would consider them our neighbors. Argentina, Brazil, Peru, Colombia, and Venezuela, all of which comprise the springboard of the Roman nation. Rome over in the Americas. How about that, y'all? So these Roman nations are our neighbors. So if they were our ancient ancestors' neighbors, they're still our neighbors. They're still Romans. That's my point. They're still Romans. That's what I should have said. Okay? Which comprise the springboard. The springboard is the starting point in the Americas. That's where they were created. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. The Elohim being, Yaqub and his 12 feminine staff scientists or co-scientists who participated with him. All right? Now it continues. The springboard of the Roman nation of many different races, castes, and color guided by dogma. Dogma is a Latin phrase which defined as what? False doctrine. False as in fraud. False as in fraud. Doctrine as in belief system. As in belief system. Okay, so they got you believing a lie. Without, let me jump back, without that delegation of authority, these venues that call themselves courts are actually what, y'all? Are actually what? Pushing what? Dogma and a belief system. False doctrines that you have to be under the God spell to believe it and consent to it. So they are not, in fact, conferred the authority and judicial power to decide cases between Moorish Americans and U.S. citizens / Romans. Y'all see it? Y'all study Clock of Destiny Volume 1 and 2. Then it goes into Rome and Con. Listen, Rome and Con, page 8. The term Rome implies the people who conquer by intrigue, force, and violence, and enslave the human mind. Now, my opinion is that he's talking about man, not human. They're different. Human, again, is Han Uman, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. I know that there's an issue of human rights and all of that, but y'all know what he means. If this wasn't edited. To enslave the mind of man. So you don't need to enslave Han Uman's mind because they're non-descendable anyway. They're non-descendable anyway, right? So you don't have to do anything. It's us, the autochthonous Moors, This is why JC said what he said. I believe it's at Mark chapter 4, when his apostle said, why are you always speaking to the people in parables? In other words, why don't you just tell the people straight up what's up, and tell us straight up what's up, so we don't have to try to figure out these puzzles and riddles. I'm tired of it. Basically, that's what they were saying. I'm tired of these riddles. You know, talk straight. But what did JC do? JC said, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, I talk to the people in riddles or parables. In other words, I don't tell them straight up. Because if I told them, although having eyes, let me go back. JC said, although having eyes to see, they cannot perceive. So I'm talking in riddles to disconnect their eyes and their brain, the visual component, or faculty, the visual faculty of their brain from their mind. And the mind is non-local. The mind does not exist in any one place, and you don't experience vision in your brain. You experience vision in your mind. Okay, y'all? In the mind, which is non-local. That means you ain't gonna find it inside of your body. JC said, I'm not speaking to them directly so that I can uncouple their visual apparatus. That means the eyes, the muscles, the nerves, the visual center where the images are processed, right? He said, I'm going to uncouple that from their mind. In other words, I'm going to handicap them, give them the most severe handicap possible. And they won't even know it. That's why I'm talking to them in parables. Yo, that's called a spell, a God spell. That's called the Gospels. Coming out of JC's, let me rephrase that, the historical JC's own mouth. And then he gave a second reason, which makes it even worse. Then he said, although having ears to hear. In other words, you have the structures in your ears, and everything works. They got blood flow in and out. They're innervated, which means the nerves work. Everything works fine, right? The auditory areas of your brain work. They're fully functional. Everything is working. They're in order. But again, the hearing is uncoupled from your mind. This is what JC did to you. He said it out of his own mouth. I've shown this, I've done videos, and I brought this to y'all attention, so y'all go back and watch that. It's Mark chapter 4. Make sure you read it in multiple verses. Go to the Bible Hub, and then y'all can work through it. I think I may have some verses and things like that on the community post here. So y'all check the community post if y'all want to know more about that. So now JC takes it further. He tells his motive, his purpose for uncoupling your eyes and your ears, which are your two primary sensory organs that you use to navigate through the world. Okay? Here's what he said. He said, because if they could see and hear, they could repent. And if they repent, they can be saved. So what did he just tell you? You need to go correlate this with Deuteronomy chapter 28 and chapter 30 and like verses. He just told you, he's not telling you because he wants you to stay in the curses. He wants you to stay in a stateless person status. See, the curses, if you were to sum all of that up, that statelessness, poverty, and being afflicted with chronic illnesses, early and untimely deaths. That's what the curses are in summary. Okay, I guess I should have said also bondage, right? Being in bondage. That's what JC said. But you must remember that Christianity is commerce. Christianity is commerce and politics, as it is now, right? As it is now. Well, even then, let's let the brother CM Bake speak for himself. All right, let me not speak for him. Well, we already see it on page 7, the code of the Roman cross order. No. Let's go to the treaty. Let's go to the treaty. That's even better. One of the, I don't remember exactly which article it is, but it talks, maybe it's 25, talks about the Christian powers. Hold on. No, not maybe 25. 24. Which one, y'all, is it that talks about the Christian powers? Article 24. This is what it says. It says, in trade or otherwise, shall be granted to any of the Christian powers. Christian powers shall be granted to any of the Christian powers. The citizens of the United States shall be equally entitled to them. So no, Christianity ain't a religion, as you thought. So this is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836, between the Moroccan Empire and the United States of North America. Okay, this is the document that you just looked at is from the Library of Congress, Office of Business Enterprises, and this is to certify. Y'all can read it. I don't want to go through it because I want to. Y'all can pause this on the replay. There's more I want to go through. Okay. Okay, here's where you'll find it. But you can download this on enforcetheconstitution.org, y'all. All right? So here's a stamp. Library of Congress. January 28th, 1991. That's the stamp on here. So take a look. Y'all let other people know that this video, that I'm doing this live stream, okay, y'all? Can y'all see it? So this is a Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836, between the Moroccan Empire and the United States of North America. Okay? This is the first page. Y'all can pause this on the replay. You can get it from enforcetheconstitution.org. You can also get it from the Library of Congress if you so choose to. Okay, y'all? All right, here's the second page. See, this is Article 7. Okay. Go to the third page. And then I'll read the entire article, okay? So we're interested right now, we're interested in Article 24. Now don't worry if it's moving up and down. You can always, like I said, download it from enforcetheconstitution.org, which is where I got it, or pause it on the replay. So let me read Article 24. This is how it reads. If any differences shall arise by either party infringing on any of the articles of this treaty, peace and harmony shall remain notwithstanding in the fullest force until a friendly application shall be made for an arrangement. And until that application shall be rejected, no appeal should be made to arms. And if war shall break out between the parties, 9 months shall be granted. Why 9 months? 9 months is the natural number of months or amount of time that once a woman becomes pregnant, 9 months later, baby's gonna come out. If there's no problem, baby's gonna come out and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It cannot be stopped. Regardless of what you want, that baby's coming out, okay? Now it continues. So in other words, this is harmonic, this is aligned with nature. This is aligned with nature. It continues. 9 months shall be granted to all the subjects of both parties to dispose of their effects, the property, and retire with their property. And so effects would be your inheritance, your land, your houses, planes, helicopters, marbles, mobile phones, whatever, okay, property. Your most importantly, your heirs, okay, your heirs, your babies, etc., okay? It is further declared that whatever indulgence in trade, there's your commerce, or otherwise, I'll say trade or barter, shall be granted to any of the Christian powers. The citizens of the United States shall be equally entitled to them. All right? So Christianity is political. Okay, Christianity is political and they have no birthright. All right, they have no land whatsoever. Hold on. Article 1. Article 1 reads, we declare that both parties have agreed that this treaty, consisting of 25 articles, shall be inserted in this book and delivered to James R. Leib, agent of the United States, and now their resident counsel at Tangier, with whose approbation it has been made, and who is duly authorized on their part to treat with us concerning all matters contained therein. Article 2. Well, let's stop there. Y'all read through the treaty, read through the articles, and you will see that this treaty establishes a relationship of friendship, right? So who's your neighbor? Who's your neighbor? As it says in the Bible. To paraphrase, your neighbor is the one who helps you. And this treaty is all about what? We helping them and they assisting us. In other words, we're friends. We are neighborly. So let's go back to let's go back to page 173. I hope it's clear. I hope I didn't rush through it so much. Hope everyone understands, or at least can see the point. So page 173, back in the astrology of the Old Testament. The third house gives judgment, okay? Consular jurisdiction, Article 3 courts concerning brethren, so concerning the Moorish nation, right? The Moroccan Empire, and our neighbors, the Christian powers, okay? In this case, United States citizens, okay? It continues, small or inland journeys. So you got some traveling, right? So when you travel, how do you navigate? When you travel, you navigate by the stars, okay? Of the Corinth or native. The native, of course, would be the Aboriginal Moorish American. Also about letters. Well, wait a minute. Aren't writs letters, y'all? They're written, hold on, where? I like to call them holy writs, glorious writs. Because I think it's more indicative of what they are and who we are. So that's a writ of error. Let me try to find the cowarto again. It's default judgment. Here's a cowarto. Affidavit of fact, writ of quo warranto, international document, letters. Okay, also about letters, writs, holy writs, brilliant, sunshiny writs, rays, rock. Low battery. Low battery, but let's keep it going. Also what, y'all? So do y'all see this? So let's see if we have, I hope I have some writs that were filed in consular court. Give me 1 second. I gotta hurry up now. Here we are. Here's a writ filed in the Moorish American Consulate for the Maryland Republic Territory. It's the affidavit of fact, default judgment. In other words, default judgment written on an affidavit of fact. Y'all see it? Now, I've gone through I don't have time to go through the headers, the images that you see in the headers and everything right now, but I've done videos showing that, okay? But if I get a chance later on, I'll go through it. But take a look, affidavit of fact, default judgment. Where is it filed? The Moorish American Consulate. This is the third house. This is the third house of the Zodiac. The Moorish American Consulate is the third house of the Zodiac. And you can see the true test copy stamp. Hope y'all can see that. Let me show it again. Let me make it clear. This is the third house of the Zodiac, dealing with judgments between brothers, sisters, cousins, kindreds, and neighbors who are foreigners. Diversity of citizenship. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? And here you see our consulate exercising judicial power in the foreign United States jurisdiction. I hope y'all can see that. Exercising its judicial power, Article 3, judicial power, in the jurisdiction of the foreign United States company corporation. Everybody see that? All right, the District Court for Prince George's County, Inc. And unfortunately, I got to rush y'all. There's some more stuff I want to show y'all. Let's go through judgments. Give me one moment. Uh-oh. Before the battery runs out. Got to go back to judgment. Hold on. Okay, so a judgment is the final consideration and determination of a court of competent jurisdiction, consular jurisdiction, as we just brought out, in our case, as Moorish Americans. Autochthonous Moors, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, sprung from the soil, the rightful heirs. Upon the matter submitted to it, and it is only evidenced by a record. It is only evidenced by a record. So now, y'all, let's go back there. I hope I can find it again. Only evidenced by a record. So let's look at the practical application of how you're going to see this in a writ, in a holy writ. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for the case numbers where the, hold on. So let me see. Let me try to find the Cowarto or whatever came before this. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, so this is good enough. Okay, so this was filed on July 18, 2022 in the Morocco Consular Court at Maryland State Republic. Consular jurisdiction and venue. Third house is consular jurisdiction and venue. Consular jurisdiction and venue. Y'all see the stamp? Okay, now let's go through the language. It says here, memorandum. On or about June 7, 2022, Andrea R.S. Watkins, Markeisha Gross, Anthony B. Covington, Christine Schultz, first name unknown, Miklas, number 567, William Sanders, number 453, Devin Arans, number 515, Richardson Swan, number 656, Maurice S. Johnson, number 714, and Troy D. Berry, hereinafter defendants, were duly served with process at their mailing address either directly or by their agents with the affidavit of fact, writ of quo warranto Exhibit A, from Nina Eliza Bay, hereinafter complainant. Listen, here it is. Which was entered in the records of case number D-042-CR-22-0000811 of the private foreign de facto corporation named District Court for Charles County, Inc. Y'all take a look at that. Right under the memorandum. I hope y'all can see it. The sun is really blocking my vision. I can't see a thing. All I see is a reflection. Okay, but the point is, what's the point, y'all? The records. The affidavit of fact, writ of quo warranto, was filed in the records of this de facto venue. See, they're operating in fact, but not according to law. Fraud, which is what we started out talking about. Fraud. They don't have a delegation of authority. Okay? Now, y'all see why the record is so important? Let's go back to it. All right. Okay, so where are we, y'all? So judgment is the final consideration and determination of a court of competent jurisdiction upon the matter submitted to it, and it is only evidenced by a record. They don't have the delegation of authority. Okay, we record our stuff in their records, right? Or that which is by law, as the files and journal entries of this state substituted in its stead, in order for a judgment is not the judgment, nor does an entry of such order partake of the nature and qualities of a judgment record. Okay? Well, so where are we, y'all? Okay, this must clearly ascertain not only the determination of the court upon the subject submitted, but the parties in favor of and against whom it operates. The term quote-unquote judgment is also used to denote the reason which the court gives for its decision. But this is more properly denominated as opinion. So now, let's go back to it. Let's go back to the default judgment. Morocco Consular Court, default judgment. I hope y'all can see that. Y'all see that? Morocco Consular Court, affidavit of fact, default judgment. Okay? So this is, I think you saw the true test copy. This was recorded in the records of, what does it say, y'all? Prince County District Court for Prince County. It says here, hold on. In this colorable action, Joseph L. Wright, Robert Prater, Angela D. Also Brooks, previously acting as state's attorney, the District Court for Prince George's County, Incorporated, and the Office of the United States Attorney for Prince George's County, having been served with process at their current address, the affidavit of fact, averment of jurisdiction, quo warranto, Exhibit 1, and was advised that proof of jurisdiction and evidence of Article 3, delegation of authority, along with certain documents, was to be produced under the rule of discovery for Lamont Maurice Butler L. by his special appearance in this action under protest. So he must have applied his autograph under protest, right? Or something happened under protest, I wasn't there, as authorized representative, ex-relation Lamont Maurice Butler. That's the straw, the non-de guerre. And then it goes on and on and on. Hold on, y'all. The above persons failed, this is the next paragraph, page 2 of 9. The above persons failed to answer, which constitutes default judgment, right? Hence the default judgment came next after the quo warranto. And an entry of the affidavit of fact, default judgment, Exhibit 2, having been entered herein on about April 16, 2019 for the dismissal with prejudice of citation number 0V00H11B and the others forthwith for lack of jurisdiction. And then it gets into, well, let me show you. And then I wanna keep going. So y'all pause this on the replay and you can read it, okay? But again, you can download these on enforcetheconstitution.org. And you can see the timestamps. You can see everything much better. My printer didn't do a good job. So let's see. So now you see, there's one more thing I want y'all to see with this. Hold on. A final judgment is one which puts an end to an action or disposes of the whole case finally and completely by declaring either that the plaintiff is entitled to recover a specific sum or that he cannot recover and leaving nothing to be done but the execution of the judgment. Okay, now take a look. The order was for the case to be dismissed and to be compensated these sums in lawful money. Y'all see that? Give me 1 second. Here we are. So y'all take a look at that. Can y'all see it? We're talking about the third house, y'all. The third zodiacal house. Consular jurisdiction and venue. One more thing. Let's keep going. Just one more point on this judgment and then we can keep going. Judgment by default is a judgment obtained by one party when the other party neglects to take certain necessary steps in the action, as to enter an appearance or to plead within the proper time. In Louisiana, the term quote-unquote contradictory judgment is used to distinguish a judgment given after the parties have been heard, either in support of their claim or in their defense from a judgment by default. So we just saw the default judgment, right? There's one more I want to show. Judgment of noli prosequi. This judgment is entered when plaintiff declares that he will not further prosecute his suit or enter of a stat processus, by which plaintiff agrees that all further proceedings shall be stayed. So y'all read this from the top of the page, okay? Judgment of noli prosequi. Can y'all see it? I hope y'all can see it. I know it's very blurry, right? Hold on. So pause it on the video. But again, this is Black's Law Dictionary, first edition. Judgment starts on page, I forgot the page, but hold on. That was page 655. Okay, so so this is page 655. Y'all pause it on the replay. And then you can read it. But I got this off of that's on archives.org. So here we see in the case of this is case number 0040W9W, District Court of Maryland for Baltimore County, George Edward Neal Bay. Notice of noli prosequi. Y'all see it? Can y'all see it? Notice of noli prosequi. Now, why is that? That was because of the default judgment. So the case was dismissed. Y'all see it? So when you see noli prosequi, now you know what it means, if you didn't know, when you look at the documents. So again, judgment of noli prosequi. This judgment is entered when plaintiff declares that he will not further prosecute his suit, or entry of a stat process by which plaintiff agrees that all further proceedings shall be stayed. Stat process. So stat process, I wonder if that correlates to what, I guess that's when the judge asked the brother, well, not the judge, but when the administrative clerk officer asked, I don't remember his name, but he asked a Moorish American if he would like to get on the stat docket. His response was no. So now y'all see stat process, right? Okay, page 655 of Black's Law Dictionary, first edition. You can get it, access it rather. You can get it. You can download it, PDF, other file formats on archives.org. All right. So all of these writs are on enforcetheconstitution.org. Okay, now y'all see the relationship of nature, cosmology, astrology, okay, astrotheology. Now you see its application in law, in our everyday lives. The third house gives judgment concerning brethren, sisters, cousins, kindred, that's nation, neighbors, this would be foreigners, United States citizens, and other Christian powers, small or inland journeys of the foreign or native. Okay, so let me go back and say, remember, this is consular jurisdiction and venue and Article 3 courts, right? Also about letters, so the writs, the holy writs, the glorious writs, rumors, news, north, east, west, and south. In other words, what, y'all? The solstitial line, the summer and winter solstices. Okay, I'm 5%. And equinoxes, right? The equinoxes. So put them together, we get what, y'all? We get what we have been taught to be a symbol of Christianity. But it's not. It's not that at all, right? North, east, west, and south in nature. Okay, spring or vernal equinox, fall or autumn equinox, okay, east and west, and then the solstices, summer solstice, winter solstice. Okay, news, whatever's happening anywhere, that's going to be the news, right? It already happened. It's the news. The rumors, okay? Y'all see it? So here, even now, if you want to talk like this, we're getting into the moon, but that's another story. We covered it. So I want to try to get through the third house. Let me keep it moving. Reports. So letters, rumors, news, reports, messengers. Guess what, y'all? Isn't the consul a messenger, right? The consul is a messenger. Ain't that right, y'all? Dealing with the commerce, looking over, protecting the commerce of his what? His brothers, his sisters, his cousins, his kindred, his nation, his empire. Messenger. In religion, that's remixed as what? Messiah or Christ. And there are 15 or 16 different messiahs or Christs, all remixed out of the solar zodiac projection, which is different from the circumpolar zodiac projection. It's a remix. It's a remix and an exaggeration and a fraudulent presentation of the. Some people may get angry about that, but we have to remember. Well, I'm going to go through that. I'm trying to decide if I should do a second class. There's a book that I got a hold of. It's so revealing. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do 2 classes, another one on top of this, or if I'm just going to wait until I finish this book and present it. But the information is that hot. You got to remember, the Catholic Church brought in 30 degrees, 30 more degrees, when there are only 3 degrees in Masonry. So Freemasonry, they added 30 more. But in Masonry, there's 3 degrees, according to this author. The sun, the moon, and the star. But that's another story. Those 30 degrees were brought in to divide and conquer the Moors and others, and to focus worship on Mary. And this is where I'm telling y'all the scandal comes in, with the focus on Mary and the Father and the Son. The scandal is in that. But anyway, let's keep it going. And ever and anon. Anon means soon. Soon, sooner or later, at once. Okay? Removing from place to place. It signifies, the third house signifies the enemies of the Father. So when we look at cosmology, the Father is the Son. Who's the enemy of the Father? Well, there's sunrise and then there's sunset. There's good and evil, right? There's life and death. Signifies the enemies of the Father being the 12th house from the 4th. The sickness of the mother being the 6th house from the 10th. I'm going to come back to those. It signifies the post offices of a nation. Why? Because it's dealing with letters, news, reports, and information, and moving from one place to another. Okay? Of colors, it has red. And I was thinking, our flag has a red background, right? And also, what did George Washington chop down the cherry tree, right? So the cherry tree, the cherry is red, right? And that's actually a ritual. That's a ritual, okay, of property being taken. I did a video on it, from the rightful heir. So let's continue. It says yellow and sorrel, a mixed color. The planet Mars is not so unfortunate in the third house as some think, unless Mars be joined to Saturn by conjunctions or aspect. This is a cadent house and the joy of the moon. Why is it the joy of the moon? Well, I know the moon, remember the Zodiac, man? But the moon is moving very rapidly, right, in its orbit. So it's going through each of the zodiac signs all the time. What is it doing? It's picking up information. picking up and relaying information. Y'all see it? CM Bay says that the moon is just as important as the sun, okay, in terms of its energy and information. And he actually says, know yourself in that context, okay? Sorry, y'all, I'm rushing, but my battery, I got like 4 or 3%. But y'all can get this out of the Clock of Destiny, Volume 1. He continues. This is a Acadian house and the joy of the moon. For if she be, of the moon, feminine energy, if she be posited therein, in the third house, especially in a movable sign, right? Moving, okay, from one place to another, especially in a movable sign. So you see the sameness right there, right? It is an argument of much travel, and that to advantage. Okay, so good things will happen as a result of your travel. If the moon be there strong, in the third house strong, and beholden by Jupiter or Venus. Now, y'all, I'm not an astrologer, so if somebody knows an astrologer, or if you are an astrologer and you can tell the story about what's happening here, please come on and give us a deeper insight into this. But if moon is afflicted here without reception, the person will be always, listen y'all, always trudging about to little purpose. And if the tail of the dragon happened to be there, he will be cheated. Oh, cheated is cheated. So we need to figure this out, right? He will be cheated if the tail of the dragon is there. If not robbed and abused in his travel. He's a stateless person. He don't have any place to stay. All right, what are we talking about? Negro, blacks, colored, and all of the different brands that they have the Moors under, right? If not, he will be cheated. Isn't that what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, y'all? About people who disrespect or don't honor their ancient foremothers and forefathers. You're carrying foreign names or Christian power names. Right, y'all? That you'll be, I'm paraphrasing, so they can do whatever they want to you whenever they want to do it to you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Why? Because you have no constitutional protections. You have no treaty protections. You are chattel. Genesis chapter 1, chattel. And the hybrid was commissioned by Yaqub and his 12 feminine co-scientists to have rulership, domination, and put you into subjugation. Okay, all moving things on the earth. That was their commission, or in other words, that's what they instructed them to do, was to put you in subjection, rob you. These are the curses, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28, 15 through 68. And if the dragon tail happened to be in the third house, the Moorish American will be cheated. He will be escheated out of his birthright, if not robbed and abused, shot down in the streets, right? Strip searched, talk to like you're a grown man, spoken to like he's a child. In his travel. In his travel, you mean like a traffic stop? You mean like a traffic stop? It is a masculine house. So the third house is a masculine house. Now remember, this is the house that gives judgment, consular jurisdiction, and venue. Article 3 courts. the neighbors, in my opinion, if you have a different opinion, I'd like to know, share it with me. Maybe you're right. I never claim to know everything. I'm giving y'all my opinion from my analysis, right? So if y'all have something to add to it, if I don't have some information and my conclusions are incorrect, y'all let me know. Just come on, and present your information so everybody can learn what you know and we can all use it and get better, right? So this is the drawing back to the true religion, the drawing back, what y'all? Drawing back to nature, which is cosmology. Cosmology, the energy of the universe. Okay? No matter how it's expressed, whether it's expressed as cosmic energy, the sun, solar energy, whatever type of energy it is, natural phenomena, wind energy, so on and so forth. So that's all I got, y'all. So we made it without the battery dying. Assalamu alaikum, shalawama, Islam to all the Moors.